Hello, fellow code lovers. So, as promised, today we will be covering how to download and upload code to the three biggest public Git repositories. We are talking about GitHub, GitLab, and BitBucket. But the first thing that we do have to cover is adding your SSH key so that then you can seamlessly communicate with these servers. First, we will start with GitHub. Um, to do this, after you log in, you will go here to your settings, and in your settings, you go to SSH and GPG keys, and you will have to add a new key. So as you can see, I already have one key added here. What you will do is that they have this very simple tutorial. We go here to generating a new SSH key, and it's just as simple as copying this command. We open our commander, we paste this command, and you have to add your email. So for example, right? Uh, it says here that it's gonna generate a public private key. Just leave it blank, but of course, if you want, you can generate a different file. The passphrase, you should put something here like a super secret password, right? So after you input your password, you'll have to input it again, and it has generated your SSH key. You will have to open your home directory SSH. So in our case, we go to C, users, my user, and you find it here in ID RSA. So it's our public key, right? You just copy this one after you open it, and then we go back to GitLab, and you want to add here your new SSH key. So you just paste this one, and you have to add a title for it. So is I'll just put it PC. And now you are able to use this key to connect to GitHub. So let's try it out. Oops, no, not pull request. Let's go to one of my projects and let's try and clone it. So what we do is we select clone with SSH from this drop down. We copy the link. Then here, I usually go to, and then I create my code directory in users so that I have permission. So we go to cd users. This would be home. I usually create here a code directory, and we'll create a git test directory. We move into it. And here the command is git clone, and it will ask us to trust the server, so yes. And now, as you can see, we have we are now able to download things from GitHub. Now, if we go to this PC, users, one of the things I usually do is this code folder. I just put it here into quick access and pin it so that I always go here easily. So now in GitHub test, we have this project created for us. Now, this is one of the very um, used workflows, but one of the other things you could do is sometimes you want to create your new project and then save it to one of these repositories. So for this case, let's just make a directory, um, test repo. We move into it. And here, let's, I don't know, create a new file. Oh, no, sorry, not folder. A new. Let's open it with code. And in here, let's just create a README. Sorry. So README file is one of the files that pretty much all of the cloud Git providers that we'll be covering today know about. Markdown is a type of templating language, just like HTML, and it allows us to quickly um, prototype something. So this is a dummy test repo. So now we have something inside of this repo. Let us do git init. This will initialize Git inside of our repository, but that doesn't mean that anything here has been saved, just that Git knows about this repository. So what we have to do is add them. You do this by git add, and you can either add the file or you can just do dot, and it will scan all of the files. So now if we do git status, oops, sorry, if I can write, you can see Git now knows about one of our new files, but it's still not saved. So to save it, it's called a commit in Git um, terminology. So git commit, we have to give it a message. So that's what the -m flag is. Usually it's initial commit for your first commit. So initial commit. And oh, yeah, sorry. Very important. We have to configure Git to tell it who we are. So as you can see, it's very helpful with us. It just tells us exactly what to do. So usually it's good to have your user email exactly the same as the email you've created your SSH key with. So in our case is the Yahoo. And for your username, here you can put your actual name, right? So here we will put for the love of code. This would be our username. So now when you will commit, so it will know who did that. Good. So in our case now, things have been saved locally, but of course, it's only on our computer, so Git knows nothing about it. Uh, this is very, very simple to fix. We need to create a new repository. Let's call it dummy test repo. You can give it a description or not, it's optional. You can make it public or private now. You could initialize the repository with a README, but in our case, it's no longer needed since we've already created a README. Git ignore is something I'll cover in a later um, video. It's just telling Git which files to ignore or track. You can also add license. I'm not gonna bother. I'm gonna delete this repository very soon. So um, it's giving us like really, really, really simple ways of saving it. So in our case, if it's a new repository, it already gave us the git init and the readme. Now, since we've already created it, we just need this command, so git remote, and especially this one. So I'm gonna walk you through it. The command is git remote. The remote in Git terminology is like a server. Then we added um, a really useful used convention is to name your primary server origin, because Git, of course, is capable of knowing about multiple servers, and then you just give it the SSH link to that repository. Then you do add, and now your Git knows about this server. So what we need to do is now push, right? So imagine the command git push to be like a file upload. You're telling it, okay, whatever you have in our local master branch, so as you can see, we are here, master, push everything to origin, which is our server that we've created here. So when we do this, it connects to the Git repository. And if we go back here, as you can see, we have our initial commit with the dummy readme, right? And it's literally just that simple. Now we have created a file. Let's say that in the meantime, we modify our file, and let's say subheader, new, and then here, new stuff added. We are simulating like another commit. Let's say you've done some work. What we do now, so like if we do git status, you can see that Git has already seen that we've modified a file it knows about. I forgot to add stuff, and we do our second commit, and then we do git push. We don't need to give it like the whole thing because the -u was for upstream. So if you just do a git push, it will push everything you have in your local master branch to the origin server. So now, if we go back to our repository and we refresh, you will see that now we have our new code created. So this is pretty much it for GitHub. Okay, so now that we covered GitHub, let's go to BitBucket. So it's bitbucket.org. And firstly, let's add our SSH key. So you go here to your profile, and it's, no, sorry, profile and BitBucket settings. And here we have SSH keys under security. And let's add our new key. We call it PC. We go to SSH. Let's open this one. Copy everything. Move here and add the key. Now that we have added our key, let's create a new repository. So let's call it dummy this repository. We'll just leave it private from now. It will always be with Git. We do not want to include a README because we already have. So what is, let's do something interesting here. So instead of overriding our origin, uh, as I've told you, Git can handle multiple servers. So let's modify this. Let's modify our existing server to use BitBucket, not as origin, just add it as BitBucket, right? So now what we do is git push BitBucket. Sorry, we need to do the minus upstream, minus u, and we select the branch master. So what this command will do is it uploads everything to our BitBucket server. As you can see, we have the same thing as we have here in GitLab. Okay, so this is for BitBucket. Let's also cover GitLab. So gitlab.com. Okay, let us sign in. We will sign in with Google. Okay, now we are signed in. You go to your profile, settings, sorry. I usually make this a little bit bigger, and you have here SSH keys, right? So we do what we did in the past. We take our SSH key, paste it here. The title will be PC. And now we have our SSH key set up. Let us just create a new project. So a project in GitLab is the same as a repository. So test dummy project. We'll keep it private. So in here we have a bit more options than the visibility. So private is like only for you, nobody else. Internal will be any logged in user, and then public like absolutely everybody. The same thing, initialize with a README. We don't want that from now. Here there are a bit more options, but this we may cover maybe in a later tutorial, but for getting started, this is all you need. So we have many options here. One of the things that it's interesting and we should cover it is how to remove an old server. So what they say is here, let's try to switch GitHub for GitLab. So we do git remote remove. That's how we remove. And the name of the remote. So our old remote was origin. And as you can see now, to see all of the remotes, you do git remote minus v, and you will see all of them. Now we only have BitBucket. And what we do, just like they say here, we switch it with the GitLab URL, just git remote add origin. What they they give you a bit more options, but you can use it. Like this will also push all of your tags if you have them. But in here, let's just say git push minus substream origin and the master branch. Yes, we want to trust this server. And now, as you can see, if we refresh the page, we now have our test dummy repository. Okay, and that's all there is to it. I've showed you how to create, how to link to the three biggest cloud providers for Git repositories, how to use Git, and now we have all of the tools we need to actually start writing code. So the next videos will be about us building something. Okay, so see you in the next videos. Bye.